and welcome to another episode of the Superfan Addicts podcast. I'm your host, Ray Showdog Frisbee, and man, do we got a show for and there go Dustin. We got a show for y'all tonight. We got my man, the man from the Royal City himself, Cincinnati, the Dog Man. What's that say? Dogmanian Cincinnatian?
Dogman and Cincy.
Oh, Dogman and Cincy, and we got DK in the house. What's up? Hey, Brian. So you know the drill.
I know the drill.
What's been going on with you? Tell us a little something about you.
Well, I got a promotion at work, so now I'm running 2 restaurants at the same time. So it came with a substantial pay raise and stuff, and I've been busy. And then getting all the stuff ready for the Browns and stuff, and being on the PLC and everything else. It's been crazy busy, but I had to go out and buy myself a personal calendar so I can keep track of myself because it's starting to get unorganized. So that's what I've been up to.
Sounds like a personal calendar is cool, but it sounds like you need a personal assistant.
I'm getting to that point. If I could have a twin, that would be great.
Oh, right. Could you imagine a mini Brian? That could be wild. A mini Brian.
DK, what's been up with you?
Well, I literally just got done with my show.
Okay.
I literally just I'm still sitting here, literally, but we just finished up our show. Gab Gowdy joined the show because Allie's out traveling this week for work, so we had a great show. Man, she's got some good hot takes. She doesn't think the Browns are making the playoffs. It was an interesting hot take she had there, but it was good stuff. It was entertaining.
Okay. And the man behind the curtain, Cody, what's up with you, baby?
Man, it's been a heck of a week. I gave up. Well, first of all, I didn't get to tell you, Ray, because you missed last week, but I'm finally under 300 pounds. I started, as I told you, on August 1st, 375. Wow. I finally got under 300, so I'm down about 77 pounds. So I weigh in on the 1st and the 15th of every month, and I do it that way so I don't stress day-to-day fluctuations. So I only count them on the 1st and 15th. But, yeah, I finally got under 300 on March 1st.
Cody, did you see you lost 70 pounds?
77.
Dude, okay, so full disclosure, my weight has fluctuated in my life. At one point, I've lost – the most I've ever lost was 80 pounds, and then I've come up. But I tell you what, kudos to you, my friend. First of all, it's hard to lose weight, period. Yes. Second, it's hard to stick to it. And third, to go do it. I'm assuming your journey continues, but proud of you, brother.
I appreciate it. I've walked at least 1 mile every day since August 1st. And like yesterday I did 3, but my minimum is 1. Okay. I had Achilles tendonitis, so some days I'll take it a little bit lighter, but most days I do 2, but occasionally I'll kick it up and do 3 and change the speed. But I also got fed up on Monday and decided to kick the nicotine habit that I had picked back up. Yeah. So I'm 72 hours and some change, nicotine free as and honestly, I feel pretty good about that. I haven't gotten really bad headaches this time. I've quit a few times now. So yeah, it's been a good week. I'm happy.
I will tell you, Cody, that's another thing. Like, you're 2 for 2 tonight because quitting smoking or any habit like that's hard enough to do. My parents were both smokers, and let me tell you, I'm assuming you just did it cold turkey, right? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, threw it out the window.
Yeah, I will tell you. They'll tell you can do hypnosis and all this, but my parents, when they quit, they quit. My mom quit on my dad's birthday, and my dad quit on my mom's birthday. So they did that as like presents to each other.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I will tell you, it is a hard habit to kick because it is addicting, right? That's why people smoke, because they can't get off of it. It's a withdrawal. But for you to kick that, so anything you say tonight, Cody, if you go crazy, I'll understand why, because you're 72 hours removed from nicotine. So, we'll forgive you.
Hey, one quick note, Cody. If your joints, your knees and ankles become too much of an issue, jump in the pool, buddy. You can burn just as much energy and carbs in the pool with less strain on the joints.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in 2017, before you all knew me, I lost 200 pounds.
Wow!
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a divorce.
By the way, All right, Brian. Funny story. When I got divorced, I was 260. Okay. No, Brian. You're onto something, Brian. When I got divorced, I was 260, and I got all the way down to 189. So divorce can really help you lose weight. So I understand.
I tell you what, though, when my dad, he was in ICU up at Veterans, and when he got out, he stopped smoking. And about 8 or 9 years ago, my mom stopped smoking cold turkey. They both just did it cold turkey. My mom hasn't smoked in 9 years, and every time we go out, we go somewhere, and somebody's smoking, she like gags on the smell.
Oh yeah, it's because yeah.
Yep.
It was vaping for me. I was a vapor, but I had quit in February of 2024, and I quit for like a year and a half. But my fiance vapes, and so after about a year and a half, her being here all the time, it was sitting like I can't explain my couch. I'll show y'all one day. I'm gonna turn my camera on, maybe on our 1 year anniversary show. But there's a little table that sits between us. That's a little sneak preview. There's a table that sits between us, and she would keep the vape on it, and I would reach over and puff on it every now and again. And I was like, and then it just kind of built back, and then I stopped myself, and I was like, all right, I gotta quit. And then back in January, I was just stressed out. Started vaping again. So I've really only been vaping again for a little over 2 months. But I kicked it 72 hours clean so far. It's nice, man. It really does make a difference in how you feel.
It's the same thing with someone that, is trying to quit alcohol, and then you go hang out at the bar with your friends, right? And you're around alcohol. If that vape is sitting there, you're like, I just need one hit. It's not right. I know what you're saying.
I would want to quit alcohol. What?
Sometimes I think it's not so much the nicotine that I enjoy. It's just like the feeling in your throat. I don't know. It's weird, but
yeah.
Y'all want to? Ray, you structured this one way, but y'all want to talk about the Browns first or the Ravens first?
It's your night, Cody. We're following your lead.
Well, I damn sure love to talk some shit about the Ravens, but we'll start with the Browns.
Yeah, but here's the problem. It didn't get any worse by the stupid thing they did the next morning. But yeah, I digress. Yeah.
I'll tell you my opinion on that in a second. So free agency came Monday, and I'm not going to lie, there for a while, I was like, man, we're not going to do anything. Linderbaum came and went, which I will say for the money, I'm cool with Linderbaum. That's okay with me. But we went out and we got Zion Johnson from the Chargers, young guy that apparently our staff really believes in. Re-signed Tevin Jenkins, picked up Elton Jenkins, who was cut, signed Quincy Williams. Not to mention we had went out and got Titus Howard previously. Mm-hmm. And then since then, I think we've signed, since Ray made this, we signed Jack Stoll, I think his name is, a tight end, and re-signed Corey Bojorquez as our punter. Let's start with man of the hour.
And we also brought Trey Avery back, the cornerback, to bolster
Trey Avery.
Cornerback.
Okay.
And we signed the tender or whatever for the kicker Schmidt.
Yeah, so we tendered Ronnie Hickman, Malachi Corley, Jamari Thrash, Brendan Bates, Winston Reed, Rex Sunahara, and Andre Schmidt. All in all, it's been a pretty decent start to free agency, as I'm trying to pull up a visual look at what we had done as of yesterday here. So I'll start with Ray, since he couldn't make it in to see us last week. Ray, what do you think about our initial free agent haul?
Oh, I'm loving it. And the thing is, somebody had called me right after we picked up that the linebacker Quincy Williams, and they was just like, "Oh, we got the garbage from the Jets and blah blah blah," and I had to remind him. The Jets started their getting rid of that defense last season. If y'all remember, the two best players were traded off right there at the deadline. So it doesn't surprise me. But I think what happened, a lot of people are looking at that Jets defense, because a lot of those guys checked out and just went home. I mean, they were there, they were there in body, but they weren't there because the Jets were basically rebuilding. So all anybody had to do was look back, and not even a couple years, and the linebacker that the Williams was he made all pro or the Pro Bowl or whatever it was. So no, I'm thoroughly thoroughly. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten a receiver in there, but hey, you can't get everything in free agency. I think Barry addressed the main concern, which was the offensive line. And if y'all remember, because I told you, I said, really, all he's going to do is just replace those contracts, the guys that left. He's just going to get new guys and give them the old contracts, and that's pretty much what he did. So I'm ecstatic. I can't wait. But we're not even done though. Just that's the only thing you have to remember. We're not done. So we'll probably pick up a couple little more here and there, and then it's on to Pittsburgh for the draft.
Well, Ray, I'm going to just add to that. We actually got younger on the offensive line, right?
Yep.
That was one thing that happened with this as well, picking up these guys. So we know Andrew Berry likes younger players or likes to try to get them younger if he can. But if you guys want to get excited about that linebacker from the Jets, just go watch the highlight reel where he lays out Kyler Murray and knocks his helmet out. This player plays with his hair on fire, but he goes and drills Kyler Murray, and that helmet flies off his head and goes about 10 feet away from him. He is physical. He plays with his hair on fire. So I almost think the Browns may have gotten an upgrade at this position, even though we lost, obviously, Devin Bush. I think we might have got an upgrade in this situation.
So with me, I'm happy with that. I didn't think Devin Bush was going to stay anyways. He played his contract year last year. He played really outstanding, but I think he just pretty much – oh, let's watch this real quick. Oh. Boom. Yep. So, wow. It's like he's playing for the Vikings now. So yes, I'm happy with the pickup. He's an All-Pro. I think with the right system, he gets to come back to one of his coaches, Rosenberg. So he's happy with that. As far as the offensive line, not only did we also got healthier. I think we were just paying Jack Coughlin's kids' college funds. Wyatt Teller, I hate to see him go because he's like a human pancake, but he was playing hurt a lot. Posic's been hurt. I think we've not only have we gotten younger, but we've also gotten healthier.
That's a good point.
I think these four offensive linemen that we have is really going to make a difference. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do with left tackle. So that makes the draft that much more exciting. And does left tackle really become the pressing need at number 6, or does it become a wide receiver? Does it become the linebacker? Does it become Caleb Downs, the safety? Now there's a lot of variables. Do we trade back? There's so many variables now with what we've done so far that makes the draft that more exciting for us.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Brian, because that was one thing we were talking on the show about. Because of what the Browns have done in free agency, you can actually have a regular draft now, if that makes sense. You don't have so many glaring needs because of what you did in free agency. You're better off taking the best available player at 6 if you don't move, right? No matter who that player is, because that just makes your team that much better. Like, right, when you can take a guy that's like the best at that position, if it falls to you, you take it. If it's not like Myles Garrett's position or someone like that, right. But if it's a guy that you can plug and play and make him a generational player because he's that good, you take him. If it's Arvell Reese, you take him. If it's Caleb Downs, you take the guy because that's just going to make that great defense maybe an elite defense, right? So
the linebacker styles, you got so many. That's why I was just telling before we went on the show, I don't do mock drafts until the week before the draft because there's so many fluid moving parts that happen before it even happens. A week ago, we were talking about we need to draft an offensive lineman at 6. We need to draft an offensive lineman at 6. Now we've just signed 4 of them. Now we're like, do we really need to get the offensive lineman at 6? Now we need to get a playmaker wide receiver. Now we can go after this safety. Now we can go after this linebacker. Now it's so. Yeah. I think Barry's done an amazing job so far in free agency. I really
agree. Well, and again, I feel like he's playing chess while others are playing checkers. Like, by the way, he didn't overpay for these guys. Nope. I mean, based on who they were and what they were, they're not crazy contracts. Got younger. I mean, you bring that up. That's and healthy because the thing that we always talked about is we had all these linemen, but they were never on the field all at the same time because one of them was hurt. Right? Like, well, great, we got Conklin back, but
Now, why Teller's out for 4 weeks? We get Teller back. Oh, well, now Batonio's out. Like, it was always one was out, one was coming in.
You never had all five on the offensive line at once. And so when you don't have depth, well, that's even worse, right? But here's the thing. DeJuan Jones, he could come back and play left tackle, so, there's that too. So there's all these different things that now when 6 comes and the ring, and someone wants somebody so bad and you move back 5 places to get more draft picks because you're feeling, I'm okay with that. You're not going to make me mad if you trade back 5 spots to the Dallas Cowboys and get more.
No, 6. They've got 12.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean,
Miami's got 11. Miami's got 11. I think if we trade back, it's going to be like to New Orleans.
All right. I got to break this up. Hold on. Let me get my thoughts on this.
All right. Go ahead.
So you look at these linemen we signed. Titus Howard, primarily a right tackle. Zion Johnson, primarily a left guard. Elton Jenkins has primarily been a center. He's a better guard, so I hope they play him at guard, but he's primarily, played center the last couple of years. Tevin Jenkins is primarily a right guard. That still leaves left tackle. And as much as I'm thrilled that we've got these guys, and I like DeJuan Jones, and really I kind of like the idea more of DeJuan Jones playing some right tackle and having the competition there, I think that most likely best player available and the position of need are going to line up, because I talked about this some last week, how I feel about Monroe Freeling after the combine. I think he is the true left tackle in the draft. Spencer Fano's got short arms, and that was a concern for Will Campbell. Look how that served the Patriots in the Super Bowl. All these other guys, he might be a guard. The only guy that we're wholeheartedly in belief is a left tackle is Monroe Freeling. He's got the length, he's got the strength, he's got the athleticism, he's got the size, and he's less than 22 years old. I put a chart up on here last week about all the guys that have been drafted that fit a certain profile of athleticism and under the age of 22, and almost all of them are stars. Left tackle is the most important position on the offensive line. So do I agree that we need a wide receiver? Absolutely. If it comes to a point that we're on the board at 6 and the best receivers available and the best left tackles available, I think the best player of those 2 options is Monroe Freeling. And I think even more so, if you let's just say you punted and said, we're going to take Downs at 6 because we want to get better at defense. At 24, if you had to say, can I get a better receiver here or a better tackle here? The answer is receiver, because Omar Cooper may still be on the board. Jeremy Bernard may still be out there. There'll be some receivers. I'm not personally a fan of Casey Concepcion or Denzel Boston. We can talk about that and why later. But to me, I think you can get a better receiver at 24 than you can if you took a receiver at 6 and a lineman at 24, namely a left tackle. Because now you're not just looking at 24 for, or even in the draft at all, for just a lineman. You're not looking for a utility player. You pretty much need it to be a left tackle at that point. So for me, because of the need that you have and the fact that I think he's the best combine, how he finished the year, I think Monroe Freeling is a shoe-in at 6. Now, if you can trade down and still get him at like 9, I'm all for it. Somebody in the chat said Casey Concepcion is there at 24. I'm jumping on it. There was a stat that I sent Ray a couple of weeks ago that pretty much every receiver who was low on this stat has been a bust, and KZ Concepcion and Denzel Boston were both low in this stat. It was like average yards per route run or something, and it just scared me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I'm cool. But, yeah, as far as the rest of the free agency haul, I think Barry's doing great. Quincy Williams is a guy who has thrived under Ruttenberg. I love bringing back Hickman. I think they probably will draft another safety. I'm the biggest Malachi Corley fan probably in the entire fan base. I love what they're doing. And there's always a chance they go get Rasheed Walker on a cheap deal from the Packers, who's a free agent left tackle. And then maybe my tune changes. But I think Freeling's the pick at 6. If you can trade back and still get Freeling, I'm all for it. But I don't know. I think you'd be making a mistake to let a guy that could be – the last time we drafted a true franchise left tackle, look how well it went for us for 10 or 11 years.
Well, my question to you is this: do you think that he's at 6 because every mock draft that I've seen has him in like late first, early second round. So you think he's really worth that high at 6?
All the mock drafts that had him late first were before the combine. After the combine, if he makes it past 6, a lot of people just have him going to us at 6. He typically falls at around 12. Now, I'm not going to say exactly 12 because I don't even know who has 12. I think it's the Cowboys.
Cowboys
but
have 12.
It's around the mid-teens. So if you can trade down and get him, but I just don't think you can take the chance of missing a player trading down like that. I mean, unless you're real freaking confident.
Are we talking about Freeling?
Yeah. Yeah, he will shoot up draft boards now that the combine backed up everything. Because, like I said, with all these other guys, there's a question: can these guys play left tackle? Maui Goa from Miami is probably a right tackle or guard. Fano from Utah, hell, one team had him playing at center in the combine. Freeling's a true left tackle. He's got the length, the athleticism, everything you need, and those are hard to come by, because if you pay attention the last couple of years, every guy that's come out has been a big highlight left tackle prospect. Their concern is always, well, he's got short arms, and almost every time that they have one of those guys, that ends up screwing them. Like Will Campbell got abused in the Super Bowl. We all saw it. He was terrible. So, and that was the big drawback to him coming out, was that he had short arms. So I think you got a chance to get a left tackle that doesn't have that. I mean, had Monroe Freeling stayed in school one more year, he may have been a top 2, top 3 pick, which next year is a loaded draft class. But so you're taking a gamble on a young guy. I try to get to the point where I'm not dead set on a certain prospect at a certain pick, because you almost always get your heart broke. Late in the year last year, I had kind of settled in on Travis Hunter, but to this point, I just think it solves a big need for us.
I agree. Give me just a second, guys. I got to check something out. Forgive me.
You're good. Question for you guys, just to throw this out there, just to be the 800-pound gorilla, 800-pound elephant, whatever you want to call it. Do you think the Browns, this will just be open for debate for you guys, do you think the Cleveland Browns will bring in another quarterback in free agency for competition or just for depth? And part 2, will they draft a quarterback? And I have an opinion on this, so I'll let you, Cody, go, and you, Ray, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, you're going to get very different opinions from me and Ray.
Hey. By the way, when everybody has the same answer on a podcast, it makes it boring. Ray knows that.
that might be the thing me and Ray debate the most. If they bring in a veteran, I totally support it. And Jeffrey in the chat had mentioned that we talked quarterback so much last week. But if they bring in a veteran, I totally support it. I don't prefer it to be Anthony Richardson, who I've seen rumored quite a bit.
Okay.
Because I think he's a quitter and he's a guy that's never been good, and he's just potential man. If they bring in a veteran, I'm cool with it, depending on who it is. As far as if they don't sign a veteran, then yeah, I 100% think they draft one. Whether that be, I don't think they're going to draft one high. I think the Ty Simpson stuff is smoke. But I think like a Carson Beck makes a lot of sense, because I think Monken coached him at UGA, and I think Drew Aller would make a lot of sense. So a guy like that, yeah, I think there will be another quarterback on our roster. And as I've said on this show, hopefully Dylan Gabriel is sent to Hong Kong, China in a box, marked for Gile. Ray, go ahead.
So my thought is, if for whatever reason we keep Dylan, then I don't see them bringing it. Now, if for somehow they figure out how to dump Dylan, then yeah, I believe they're going to bring in a third quarterback, and he probably will be a veteran. Other than that, I don't see them doing the 4 quarterback things again. Especially with training camp, and you're trying to see if Deshaun, and you're trying to see if Shador, and so the great move would be get rid of Dylan, bring in a veteran, and then boom, there you go.
So I'll bring this. I'll give my comment, and just so you know, Brian, we're talking about A, do the Browns bring in a veteran quarterback in the mix for free agency, and then B, do you think they're going to draft one? So I'll start with my opinion. Kirk Cousins just got released, so I would not be shocked to see the Browns bring in someone like Kirk Cousins, again, depending on the price. But someone, I mean, they brought in Joe Flacco, right? So that wouldn't shock me if they brought in someone like Kirk Cousins, just to Ray's point, with the caveat, you're getting rid of Dylan Gabriel, right? That's kind of the yin and the yang there, because you got to get rid of one to bring one in. And honestly, I'm going to disagree with Cody on this. I don't think it is smoke and mirrors. I don't think the Cleveland Browns waste top 30 visit with a quarterback if there isn't some smoke there. The Browns, if a guy falls to the top of the second round, don't be shocked if the Browns don't take someone like Ty Simpson, or if something falls into their lap, just because I think the Browns are just going to put a lot of at bats and see how many people they can get to the quarterback. If they don't get it right, they can reset for 2027 when they can be really aggressive, and that's a much more deeper quarterback class. That's just – I just think –
So wait, you're saying take a quarterback now, see what happens, and then take another one next year too?
No, I'm saying if you can get a guy like in the top of the second round because he falls in your lap, that might be the second best quarterback in the entire draft, and you take him because you've already got to your point. Maybe you take a left tackle or whatever, and you get a wide receiver at the bottom of the first round, and then that quarterback is sitting there, and man, like that's a value pick at that point, and you can get him. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Browns take that.
At this point, I really think that after the debacle of the last 2 years, that the Cleveland Browns have actually gotten smarter at what they need to do. I really think that if they do trade out Dylan Gabriel, they do bring in a veteran presence. But I don't think that drafting a quarterback is the number one caveat of the need this year, even if somebody falls into our lap. At this point, if we're sitting at 39 and Ty Simpson is there, and we've got somebody that's ringing our phone going, we got to get Ty Simpson. I think we entertain that phone call at that point. But I don't think that we're going to go there. This year was supposed to be a quarterback class that didn't really pan out, but next year is supposed to be a quarterback class that is going to pan out. So Deshaun Watson's at his end of his year this year, that we could actually void him out next year and get rid of him. If Shedeur Sanders doesn't play well, that we think that he will play well with the system that we're going to have for him, if he doesn't play well, then we can address that need next year. But at this point right now, it's not a pressing need. We need playmakers. We need people that can support. We need the left tackle like Cody described. We need the playmaking wide receiver, and there's still a lot of free agency left. I mean, we're talking to the Jaguars about picking up Brian Thomas Jr. Jennings from San Francisco is a free agent that I think would be a really good pickup for us. So there's a lot of moving parts that's going to happen before the draft. I don't think that we need to address that quarterback situation. We need to address our offensive line. We need to address playmakers. We need to address wide receivers. We need to address maybe another linebacker, since JOK is not coming back, or allegedly not coming back, or Devin Bush is gone. We picked up Quincy Williams. We put a tender on Hickman. Somebody might think Hickman's worth it and pick up the second round draft for him. So there's a lot of moving parts before then. I don't think quarterback's the pressing need.
But Brian, to your point, not to completely disagree with you on that quarterback situation. If the phone's ringing at 39, right, wherever we're at drafting, and somebody wants Ty Simpson, the Browns have been really bad at picking quarterbacks other than Baker in 26 years. Does that team know something that we don't? And I guess where I'm going with that is then they pick him and he ends up being a superstar. I'm just saying sometimes we get in the way of ourselves in a situation where, well, if they're ringing, they've done their due diligence and they want him and they're going to be aggressive and they're going to go get him. The same reason we went and got Shedeur Sanders, guess who was coming up to get him? The Philadelphia Eagles. And they were aware of that, and so the Browns moved up to get Shedeur Sanders. I think teams sometimes know things, right? I mean, the Eagles have won Super Bowls. Clearly, they saw him as someone that could sit behind Hurts and learn. I think sometimes we get too cute at the quarterback position because we think we're smarter than everybody in the room, but we haven't gotten it right once. We got it right once in 27 years.
We talked about how Philadelphia wanted to move up to grab Shedeur. He was available through 4.5 rounds. We talk about, when Monken meets Shador, he's like, we almost drafted you. Well, no, you didn't, because if you almost drafted him, you would have drafted him in the 4th, or you would have moved up in the 5th to grab him. So, I mean, that point, I don't know if that would be like a valid point. Like, a lot of teams passed on him for a lot of times for a lot of reasons.
Right. But no, I guess my point was more if a team's calling because they want that quarterback, like
if they really want that quarterback in the late first round, they would take him in the late first round because he is a projected late first round pick. I think, like, if we have a stud, if we pick up, like, let's say we pick up Caleb Downs or we pick up Styles with the 6th pick, and to Cody's point, we pick up a left tackle or whatever, or a wide receiver, then we're filling another need that we need. I don't think quarterback is the need. I think after all these years of getting it wrong, and Barry finally gets to make draft picks that doesn't have like a money ball man in his ear saying you need to do this, you need to do this, and we have a wide receiver or a offensively really minded head coach now. I think that we really start getting aggressive on needs that we need. Monkey's going to pull through him. Like, I'm really excited about him coaching.
I was going to say, I'm a big fan of Monken, and I talked about that on the show just in the last hour, that he's a no-nonsense guy, and sometimes he may say things that people may not want him to say, but he's going to say it.
I mean, he's dropping F-bombs in press conferences.
Regardless, I just don't think that the answer to any quarterback problem. I mean, like I've said before, if it was Mendoza, it'd be different. I don't know that Ty Simpson's that guy. But moving on, because honestly, I get tired of talking about quarterbacks. I feel like it's all we talk about every damn year. Let's talk some shit about Baltimore. I won't give us free reign to talk any kind of shit that we want, but so it comes out last week that they had made the decision to trade 2 first-round picks for a player, which I believe they had never done as a franchise, and get Max Crosby, who I think I'm strongly of the opinion that Max Crosby is in the top tier, close to Myles Garrett. I mean, I think he's better than TJ Watt and all those guys. I'm a big Max Crosby fan. Comes out the first night of free agency or the second, I can't remember, but they backed out of the trade. The Raiders just put out there, the Ravens has backed out of the trade. We have no more details at this time. Trey Hendrickson's market wasn't what they thought. Had him in the building, realized they could get him a little cheaper, save their 2 first-round picks. They say that it was the physical. Depends who you're listening to. What do you think about this, Ray? This decision by the Ravens to get cold feet on Max Crosby and take Trey Hendrickson instead and save themselves some money and some draft picks.
Hey, all I got to say is pimping ain't easy. That was a straight pimp move. They went from giving up 2 picks and getting who they thought was their guy, and then only for Trey Hendrickson to come along, don't have to give up the picks. He's a little cheaper, might have to spend a little more money, but you still keep your draft capital. So straight pimp move. Well played, Baltimore. Well played.
Dustin, what do you think about this?
Well, I got to tell you this. Here's the problem I have with this move. You bring a player all the way across the country, do a physical, and put him through the ringer, and he fails the physical. I mean, the doctor came out and was very adamant, talked about all the different things. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm pissed, like beyond means. But I got to tell you, I don't trust the Baltimore Ravens. I hate the Baltimore Ravens. I don't trust them, and I'll tell you why. You can't tell me that they weren't doing 2 vertical things at once. And shame on them for bringing a guy all the way across the country, putting him through the physical. Because I'm sorry, you don't have a guy signed and sealed and delivered the very next morning, and you put a presser out that you just signed him when that guy was in your building the night before. I don't buy it. I think they had plan A, plan B, and when they realized that the knee might be a bigger issue in year 2 and 3 versus year 1, they figured he'd be fine in year 1. I think they got cold feet, and they were already working on a lateral move with Henderson, and it's a bad look for the Ravens. And you know what? It put the Raiders in a real awkward spot because they signed all these other free agents and put them in cap hell temporarily. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it's a bad look for the Baltimore Ravens, who for a long time have done a lot of good things in the front office. when it comes to players and signings. It's just a bad look. And by the way, look at the press conference from the Baltimore Ravens GM. Look at his body language. Look what he says to the press. It's not a good look.
No, I agree, Brian.
So they knew that he had knee surgery, and they knew he had a bad knee before they even brought him in or made the trade. So they made the trade in faith of knowing that he may or may not pass a physical or whatever else. The problem is they're now backtracking and saying, oh, we had every intention of maybe trying to get both of them. No, you weren't. You didn't have the money. No, you weren't. So I think that, and then Trey's coming off of injury too. So I think it was like, well, we have a physical. We don't have to give up the first 2 round or first picks or whatever. We can get those back, but now we can save face and sign Trey to a multi-lucrative deal, but we don't have to give up these draft picks now. So I think they brought him in. They knew he was going to fail. They kind of like went a roundabout way. Maybe they were hoping he would have passed the physical. Maybe, I don't know, but it's a bad look. It is a very, very bad look. And now it has a domino effect because it's not only just, now he's got to go back after they just signed Linderman, the center, but they were like, I think Dallas or Green Bay was in talks of trying to get him, and they ended up getting Gray. So now is that Gray deal finalized from Packers to Dallas? Because I know Dallas was talking about wanting to get Max. So there's a lot of moving dominoes that happened because of that backtrack now. So it's just not a good look.
You talking about Rashawn Gary to the
yeah,
that is done. I saw that the details of that a second ago, but I don't remember where it went. Yeah, man, this is. Here's the thing. I don't know.
Wake up, Ray.
Maybe it's way at time. Maybe the Ravens front office knows I don't, but I personally just eye test watching the guys. I know statistics say one thing and whatever. I think Max Crosby's quite a bit better than Trey Hendrickson. I mean, I think Hendrickson's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think Max Crosby's really damn good. Like, I think that guy's maybe number 2. It's hard not to say Micah Parsons, but
Cody, you bring up a good point. Like, you'll hear coaches say in the NFL, and they say it about Myles Garrett, they say it about Max Crosby. You keep me up at night during the week to have to deal with you, right? You don't hear that about Henderson, right? So I mean, it's a valid point. Like,
right?
Like why to Brian's point, it's a bad look for the Ravens for future players that want to go there. And I guarantee you, Raiders ain't doing a deal with the Ravens anytime soon into the future. That ain't going to go down.
And they shouldn't. I mean, it's honestly, you guys have all been around a little longer than me, especially Ray. If y'all remember a time a team backed out of a trade after it was already agreed to like this?
Well, allegedly they've done this before, but not to this magnitude of 2 first-round draft picks, like Pro Bowl, type of player. I mean, this was like, the fact that you could just tell. Let me just put it this way: you can tell how pissed off the Raiders were when they put out that press release and that statement. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade. We have no further comment at this time. Like, that's just go pound sand. This is all we're going to say because this is ridiculous. Like,
yep.
Because think about all those players the Raiders signed. They signed a ton of players that they were, with those cap ramifications, are like, well, hang on. Well, this is a big guy coming back in our building with a big salary. Whoa, hang on. What the hell do we do, right? And then you have all those free agents that just signed, like, what now they're calling their agent, like, what does this mean for us, right? Like, that's terrible to do in an organization.
Didn't they have a $99 million cap hit or something if they would have went through with the trade or whatever? Because there was some sort of joke where his cap hit was more than 6 Major League Baseball teams payrolls.
Ooh. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah.
I'm looking at Crosby and Hendrickson's stats career. Hendrickson played 7 more games. He does have 11 and a half more sacks, but there was a long time that TJ Watt had more sacks than Myles Garrett. If you watch the 2 of them, you would know who was better. To me, now Max Crosby has a lot more tackles and assisted tackles, But to me, if you watch the two, I think Max Crosby is, to the eye, the better player. But hell, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think Max is a dog. He's never been on a good team. He's never really got to play where he could rush the passer a lot. I don't know. It's a horseshit move from the Ravens. I hope that teams hold it against them, but they won't. It is what it is. So moving on, second year in a row, Geno Smith has been traded. This time he's going back to the Jets, where his career began in 2013 and ended soon thereafter.
Full circle.
He's
gone full circle.
Oh, I thought you were making I thought Ray was making a jet.
No, he started with the Jets, and he went all across the country, and now he's back at the Jets. Jets.
So the Jets picked up Geno and a 7th, and the Raiders picked up a 6th in it. Got any thoughts on this? This probably insignificant trade. That honestly, I think the biggest thing about this trade is, I think he puts the Jets in strong position for the march for Arch, tanking for Arch Manning in the 2027 draft. I think Geno Smith is the perfect guy to command the tank for Arch Manning. Brian, what are your thoughts on that trade?
I just think it pretty much lets him know that he's not as valuable as I think he thinks he is. I don't know. It just I just chuckled when I heard that they traded him to the Jets. I was just like, Cleveland's a place where quarterbacks go to die. So are the Jets. And I just think that it was like, all right, well, it's time for you to end your career, so we're going to ship you out to the Jets. Great years in Seattle. Then they picked him up in Oakland, and then they're like, we're done with you. See you later. But then again, they're in the Mendoza number 1 draft pick thing, so they weren't really going to keep him anyways. They're going to bring in Mendoza, probably bring in a veteran which, by the way, that wouldn't be a bad move for them to pick up Kirk Cousins to kind of mentor him.
Or compete for the starting job. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not a bad landing spot for Kirk Cousins. Now that I just think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
For Mendoza for a year. So I don't know. I just chuckled when he went back to the Jets. Like, well, that's where he's going to end his career.
Dustin, what do you think about this move?
It's indifferent. The Jets are terrible. They're a dumpster fire. I honestly think they probably should draft a quarterback. I could see, the Jets have done stupid, crazy things. I could see them drafting if Mendoza's off the board, Ty or something like that. They do something crazy because they feel like they got to go get another quarterback. But it's not going to make them any better. And I just feel like it's like just a stopgap bridge quarterback. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like hell, they had Aaron Rodgers and they couldn't even make that work. So, it's like, I just feel like until they get better quality players around the quarterback, and here's the thing, like if I'm Manning, I pull a John Elway and say, I ain't going to the Jets. You're going to ruin my career. Especially with the NIL and these players now, I think you're going to see more and more of these players like, I ain't going to the Jets. You can draft me, but I'm going to make it hell for you.
Well, to get back to Ray's point earlier, they unloaded a lot of defense, a lot. And they've got the number 2 pick this year. So, do they really go after a quarterback with number 2, or are they going to go after defense? I think they're really going to pick up Marvell's Reese.
Me too this year. But next year, 27?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I'm the greatest quarterback in the NFL in the draft, I say I ain't going to the Jets. Pull an Eli Manning, call it whatever you want. Like, I ain't going there.
Yeah, Dustin, we better not establish that as a thought because they could pull it on us if we mess around and have a top pick. We may see Arch do it to us.
Well, the Haslams have a pretty good relationship with the Manning. So
right? Yeah, that would be our saving grace.
Yeah, I really don't think that with the talent and everything that we have, I really don't think that. And as bad as Arizona is going to be next year, the Las Vegas is going to be, the Jets is going to be. We don't know what Tennessee is going to be. Giants is going to be bad. I really don't see us or being in the top 5 again next year.
I think the Giants are going to make the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me because there's always a team that goes from last to first every year.
Well, but look who their head coach is. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, look at their head coach. They have Dart as a quarterback. So I mean, like, they actually have a quarterback they believe in, and they have a good coach. And I talk about this too. Don't be surprised if the Browns make the playoffs next year. 60% of the teams that have the easiest schedule, Browns are the easiest schedule in the NFL next year. We have the easiest one. 60% of those teams make the playoffs. I mean, the Browns could very well be in a wild card this next year just because of that simple reason. They don't play anybody like that jumps off the board other than the division.
It's awesome that we have the easiest schedule and we don't even get to play ourselves. Imagine how much easier it would be if we got to play ourselves. You said, here's the thing: if our quarterback play is good enough to get us to the playoffs, then we may be okay. If our quarterback play lands us anywhere in the top 10, probably to 12, I think that Jimmy will push to try to trade for the top pick.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, but here's the thing.
I don't see us being first pick bad for what it's worth.
I'm telling you, Todd Monken is going to get the most out of whoever is behind center. And here's the thing. This is going to be crazy. I'm gonna bring a hot take in here, and I might wake up Ray on this one. But the Browns haven't won the division since 1989. It's not crazy to think that the Browns couldn't challenge for the division this year with all the turnover in head coaches that have happened in this division. And the Bengals are worse because of losing Henderson. And I mean, that might sound like crazy talk, but I don't think it is. Like, it's a pretty open division all of a sudden because of all the
that's not a crazy take.
Okay.
That's very capable. That's very possible. That falls very in the realm of possibility for us to be in the playoffs. Very.
No, I'm saying the division. I'm talking about the division this year.
That too.
I mean, it's hard for me to say division when we're in a division with two of probably the top 5 better quarterbacks in the NFL. But that Bengals defense seems to somehow manage to get worse every single year.
Yeah, he's running for his life.
Yeah, Burrow seems to manage to get hurt every single year.
They have a Swiss cheese offensive line every year.
Oh, mark my word. Based on what's happened in Baltimore or in Cincinnati, they don't pay their players. They don't keep their players. Watch the smoke and fire that happens when Joe Burrow asks for a trade after this season, and he ends up an LA Ram. Not that I hate it, but I'm telling you, he's going to want to go somewhere where he wants to win and be young enough to go win a Super Bowl.
Well,
and we've learned that the Bengals do not spend money on players. Well, I mean, Brian, you live there,
Yeah.
Here's my hot take. I don't think the Bengals offensive line is that bad. I think Joe Burrow holds on to the football for too long. That's mine.
I don't know about that. Joe Burrow's a special player.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a special talent, but you can be a special talent and still hold on to the football too long, trying to make things happen and not being as mobile as maybe you want to be.
He's about as special as that once in a lifetime talent Gentry.
I'm sorry. How many yards did Ashton Genty have last year? Okay.
How many did he have? I don't know.
No, but I bet Dustin knows.
Almost 1,000.
Almost 1,000?
He got injured.
Wait a minute, in 17 games, almost 1,000?
He got injured and he almost had 1,000 yards. Yes, sir.
Crenshaw, he got injured. So last year there was 3 NFL coaches in their first year to make the playoffs. In 2022, there were 5 head coaches in their first year to make the playoffs. And other ones included Chip Kelly, Jim Caldwell, and Jim Harbaugh. They all were first-year coaches that made the playoffs. I think Monken has the potential to do it. It really matters with the special players and the personnel that they put around that is going to really make it happen. I think our defense doesn't lapse. I think our defense still plays extremely well. It matters what they're going to do on offense. And signing these 4 offensive free agents and trades really, really tells us that they're gunning for the playoffs.
Well, not only that, we have the easiest schedule. I mean, you have that, and then you have that on top of it. Look at when teams have the easiest. You know who had the easiest schedule in the NFL last year? The New England Patriots, they were in the
Yep.
Super Bowl. Like, my point being, like, it actually benefits these teams that have crappy, easy schedules. It gets them wins. It just does, because you're better than your opponent, period. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Ray, you didn't get to give us your opinion on Geno Smith going back home to New York, did you?
Yeah, I did. I said he went full circle. He basically went full circle. This is probably going to be his goodbye tour, I'm guessing, because I mean, what else? How many more years he going to play?
Well, I mean, at this point, he's been in the NFL for 15 years, and he's had, 2 good years?
Right. Right.
You know, so that was a guy that
I can kind of see this being his goodbye tour.
Hey, you know, I know. Let's just talk real quick. I'm just going to throw it out there. What do you guys think about the Kyler Murray signing to the Vikings? He's got weapons to throw to. Does that have any smoke behind it this year? I'm just curious. By the way, I'm not a Kyler Murray fan at all. I'm just curious what your guys' opinion are.
That's been a fruitful place for quarterbacks to go rehabilitate themselves, because wasn't Darnold there for a year?
Yes.
Darnold was there for a year. Daniel Jones was there for a year. So I cannot blame him for taking that opportunity. I think Kyler's a talented quarterback. He's just very, very, very small. Now, granted, Dylan Gabriel's also very, very small, but
he's not very talented.
Yeah, he doesn't have. Kyler's got a pretty big arm, and he's an elite athlete. I mean, he was a first round MLB draft pick as a shortstop. So if
where it should have went.
Yeah, if he gets an opportunity in Minnesota to go and rehabilitate and be himself and be better, then I think could be really good for him. But if it doesn't work there, time to pick the bat up, homeboy. Get your mitt ready.
I said when he was coming out, like, I am not a fan of quarterbacks under 6 feet tall. When he came out, I was like, man, you have a first round draft pick. Was it to the A's, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I was like, dude, you're a better. I mean, everybody even said you're a better baseball player. I mean, and by the way, you're not going to get killed probably playing a position in baseball versus quarterback position. I was like, man, you should have went to the MLB. Like, I don't know, like, it just, I don't know why he was so hard pressed.
Who was the other quarterback? Was it Drew Henson that he was like a third baseman for the Yankees or something? He decided to play football and it just ruined his career.
I don't know that one.
Am I right on that one?
For some reason, that does sound kind of right, but
yeah. Drew Henson. I looked it up.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been a better baseball player, but he decided to go pro and then ended up just killing his career in both. I really think that Murray could have probably been a better player with the Oakland A's.
And it might not be too late for him to do that. I mean, I feel like stopping and starting picking up throwing a football would be easier than hitting a pitch.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, well, there was always warning flags about Deshaun Watson.
Never mind.
No, I'm saying not throwing a football for a year and a half, or plus. That's the game catches up with you real quick. So yeah, that's different than throwing a baseball. I kind of agree with you, Cody.
Real quick, we got about 3 minutes left. Let's just rapid fire a couple things and talk about them. Try to get out quick before our host falls asleep. He's just cooked. I don't even think he knows we're talking to him.
Well, he's on his phone.
No, I'm looking for something for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So let's real quick. The Brian Thomas rumors. What are your guys' thoughts on Brian Thomas as maybe a guy that the Browns could go get as a trade? I think they're kind of trying to milk a pretty good offer. But what are your thoughts? Let's start with Ray. What are your thoughts?
Now you talking about getting certain players that change the whole draft for us. Man, we get him, the whole draft changes.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, literally the whole draft. We bring him in the whole draft. We can look at a safety at number 6. We could pretty much, like I think Dustin said earlier in the show, we could take the best player available. We don't have to draft for needs. We just draft the best player. So yeah, I'm all for it. If we could bring that kid in, oh yeah, because Andrew Berry will really go to work then, in my opinion.
Dustin, what do you think?
He's 23 years old. He fits right into the Andrew Berry younger players thing. I just worry how much we'd have to give up for him. I mean, is the rumor is a first-round draft pick? Is that correct?
Second.
Second.
Oh,
Second.
second.
I give up 24 though.
No, I think we need.
Give up 39. I give up 39.
Yeah, I don't
I
give up.
prefer it, but if I wouldn't be killed if it was 24.
No, because if you give up 24, you just let the Jacksonville Jaguars win the draft or win the trade from last year because that's our pick from them,
Fair
and
point.
they basically just get it back. So I think you got to go second round. I think you got to keep it. Yeah, you got to keep it.
Brian,
I
what's
don't
your
think
thoughts?
it's win for that because we ended up with Mason Graham, and if we can get Brian Thomas off of it, we got 2 stud players off of 1 draft pick. So I don't think that that's so much of a win for Jacksonville. If we end up trading for Brian Jennings and somehow we pick up Jawan Jennings from San Francisco,
Oh
I think
yeah,
we hit a home run in the free agency market in there, and then that changes the whole entire draft complexion again. So that's why I said I don't really deal with mock drafts or anything a week before the draft because so many moving parts. We trade 39, we pick up Brian Jennings. We sign Brian Thomas Jr. We sign Jawan Jennings, and then guess what? We've got like 2 like really great wide receivers that now is not a pressing need anymore.
And Ray's about to give us his Rivington information he's been looking up for 5 minutes.
No.
Ray's about to start snoring, man.
No, Ray was like, I got some information I want to share. Didn't he say that, Brian? I think it's what he said.
That's what he said.
All right, real quick. New York Giants signed cornerback Greg Newsome to a 1-year deal worth $10 million. What are your thoughts on Greg Newsome, who probably bet on himself a little bit and failed? Dustin, what do you think?
I think he's the best dancer in the National Football League. I just, again, he's a good talent. He's not great. Again, that's why you see a lot of these guys get 1-year deals. We all know the Browns got the best of that trade last year. That is clear based on the performance on the field. He's good. He's not great, right? We talk about this, what are the good versus the great club. He'll do fine, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're going to see a lot of he might keep getting 1-year deals until he's not playing in the NFL anymore.
Brian, what do you think, Greg Newsome?
I think it's going to be great for New York. I can't wait till they see him get burnt 6 times, and on the one time he makes a tackle, he decides to play air guitar and do his little finger thing. Like I can't wait until the people in New York go, "What is this garbage?" Because they will eat him alive up there. He had it easy in Cleveland. He had it easy in Jacksonville. They will eat him alive in New York when he starts playing those antics.
Ray, thoughts?
Hey, the man got his money, but like Brian just said, they're gonna eat his ass alive in the Big Apple.
Yeah. Good for him. I do wish the best for him. Hope it works out. I think we pretty clearly won that trade from Jacksonville. Thanks for Tyson Campbell.
Real quick, Cody. I think you forgot something.
Uh-oh.
All right, what'd I forget?
What show number is this tonight?
Oh, it is show. This one should be easy for you. So, it is the show number 42. So we've been playing a little game. Give me a number 42 from the Cleveland Browns, but I'm taking the easy one. I'm making y'all work for it. Paul Warfield.
You can't use Paul Warfield. That's too easy.
Not use Paul Warfield. I'm taking that one off the board.
Kelly.
Give me a number 42. Who's got one?
I got one, and I'll give you a hint, Dustin. Penn State running back.
I'm trying to picture training camp.
Dustin, the guy he's talking about is probably from 1958, and you probably don't remember it.
No. I think I got one.
All right, who you got?
He is a running back.
The guy I'm talking about is from the 90s.
Oh,
I just said it.
No. Hang on. I got one.
What'd you say, Brian?
Kelly.
who? Kelly? Who?
Yeah, who's Kelly?
John Kelly. 22 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about John Kelly. But that's not the Penn State running back that I was thinking of. I'll give you another hint, Dustin.
I'm going to give you just number 42, who's the current Cleveland Brown, and I'm going to mess up his name. Easton Mascarenas Arnold. He's a linebacker.
Yeah, I always call him Macarena.
Macarena. There we go. The Macarena linebacker, 42.
No, the guy that I'm talking about, Penn State running back, Samoan.
Tim Manoa. Tim Manoa.
Tim Manoa.
Tim Manoa is the third most valuable Cleveland Brown to ever wear number 42. I had two, so
here's one for you. Here's one for you. All of us, not maybe Cody, but this would go back to us being so excited as a Cleveland Browns team. Terry Kirby played running back.
Terry Kirby.
99.
Fourth most valuable. So I have two that I had thought of before I looked at the list. Both West Virginia Mountaineers. I live close to West Virginia. Tony Fields, linebacker.
Linebacker, yep.
Carl Joseph, safety. Was both on the team for a couple. Well, Carl Joseph apparently was on the team for 1 year. I thought he was on the team for 2.
Did he play for Cincinnati also?
Carl Joseph? Let me check. I remember him as a Raider. No, he played for the Steelers.
You're right. He was a Raider.
He was Raiders, Browns, and then 2 years with the Steelers. Hard.
Yeah,
He used to crush people in college.
Yeah.
So, Ray, it's bedtime, buddy.
Bedtime. Time to go, guys. Time to go.
Hey, real quick, just leave you with this thought. We all love Tim Couch. We loved him when he came. But little fun fact, what quarterback was left unprotected by the St. Louis Rams in 1999 that the Cleveland Browns could have picked up in the supplemental draft?
Warner.
Kurt Warner, the greatest show on turf. Crazy, right? Another quarterback missed.
As always. Ray, send us out, man.
As always, go Browns!
Browns.